welcome back to this Trini Will Travel. I'm Keisha, and on this channel you will find all things travel, tips, tricks, experiences, especially from a Caribbean perspective. So if that's something that you're interested in, go ahead and subscribe. But for now, let's get into today's topic. It's something that has been on my mind based on some of the experiences I have observed being here in Italy. And recently in the news, it's now becoming a more talked about topic. It's been happening over the years, but now it's becoming clearly unbearable. So I just wanted to share my thoughts on the matter and as well as hear some of the thoughts that you guys have. The topic is over tourism. As with everything, things just don't happen out of the blue. It's a lot of factors that come into play that makes things have disadvantages as well as advantages. And as with everything, it's finding a reasonable balance between both the pros and the cons and etc. I'll just start off the conversation with some of my observations, and then we'll talk about what we've seen recently happening in Barcelona.
Water fight on the streets of Barcelona. Some locals spraying tourists with water guns as they ate at popular restaurants, sending visitors fleeing from their tables. Thousands of protesters walking through the city over the weekend, chanting "Tourists go home" and carrying signs with anti-tourist slogans.
Restoration and hotels is the group that makes really big money, but all the people are in a very poor situation and they don't have enough money to live. That's a problem.
And what is the real solution to the issue? I would not say that I am a versed traveler. My travel has been my travel has mainly been within the Caribbean and the US, and more recently Europe, being more so Italy. But I would say that what I have noticed is that the first time I came to Italy would have been in 2019. And the experience I had then versus the experience I am experiencing now, last year, this year, it's completely different. And in my opinion, it is not enjoyable, to say the least. When I look at it, I say I'm speaking from a point of, let's call it privilege, being that I'm thinking, I'm here, I could experience this, I could come back another time, or if I want a different experience, I could come back another time. But in other instances, this is a vacation that you've been saving months for, years for. It's a destination that it's your bucket list destination, a dream destination. So even when you get here, even if the experience is not as favorable, you're just going to try to make the best of it. When I came here in 2019, I visited, to the north of Italy, I did Venice. Also to the south, I did Rome. I was based in Milan, so I did some of Milan. It was around Christmas time. There was still some tourists, but it was bearable. So when we were in Rome, there was a line to visit the Vatican, and the line looked okay. The line looked like, okay, you may wait an hour or something like that. There around the Colosseum, yes, there were people, but you could walk around, you could move around, you could have space. It was okay. In Venice, the same thing. There were lots of tourists, but you could still move around on the Rialto Bridge. You had enough space to walk around on the bridges, the canals. You could walk around, have your own space. It's like people enjoying their trip. Now, comparing it to last year and this year, there are a few things. One, I think the lack of respect. Because I would look at news reports about how tourists were defacing ancient monuments, how they were behaving in public streets. Why would you go to a place and disrespect people as well as yourself? It's the classic scenario of Peter pays for Paul and Paul pays for all. Because now when I visited Rome in 2024, there were barriers around the Trevi Fountain. So persons could not go close up to take photos, closer to the Trevi Fountain if you wanted to turn the coins. It was a a good enough space where you cannot go close to the fountain. And then with that, there were also crowds of people who wanted to see the fountain. So then you can't even get a space to get a picture, like a cute little picture. Of course, you want your little memories, not with 20,000 people in the picture. For the Colosseum, there were areas that were blocked off that I don't remember it being blocked off before. So then there's this huge line of people to get into the Colosseum, a huge crowd outside. Like, it's just too many people. So you are the tourist, and maybe other people have the same thought as well, like, where are all these people going? Also for the Vatican, before when I said the line was maybe about, like, it looked like it could be an hour and a half. The line now looked like it could be 3 hours or more. Like, the Vatican is huge. Well, relatively. It's huge. So it's this wide open space. And within that, there's the snake line here. Then there's a line going all the way around and coming back around. And it's like, how are you enjoying your vacation when you're standing in a line for 3 hours? What? And even with that, also the, like, food places. Why am I standing in a line for an hour and a half to try a sandwich, to try gelato? Like, no. So now, what is the problem? There are different components, in my opinion, that causes the problem. So for one, of course, it's now travel is a lot more accessible. One, because people, airlines, places, they want to make money, so maybe they have deals. Persons have a lot more disposable income to travel. And then 3, social media. And 4, people themselves. I would say being lazy, okay? Don't hit me, don't kill me, okay? This is just, we having an open discussion. This is not scripted. These are just my thoughts, guys. We're having a discussion. So if you disagree with me, it's fine. Comment down below. Tell me, girl, what pack of rubbish you talking, right? But yeah, so for people being lazy, okay? And I will expand on that. So 1 and 2, okay, we have no control over. 3, social media. So in the ones, like creating content, sharing information, it grew from persons like sharing information, sharing their experiences, to like trying to be viral, clickbaity, etc. So now it goes from, hey, this was my experience, this is what I did, blah, 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 to, you have to do this. If you go here, you have to do this. You must do this. This is the best. You can't miss this, blah, 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 blah. So now it creates an experience of that same maybe fear of missing out. You get this beautiful shot. I find this beautiful shot. Now, I think that for me, I want to look like I'm in it too. So I visited this place. I need to have the same shot, the same background. It was beautiful. So now this video has 1 million views. 10% of people actually visit, 5% of people end up there. There's that. So social media, virality, you have to do this, you have to do that. And then 4, when I said people being lazy. Planning a vacation, yes, it can be a little difficult. It does take some time. It does take some planning. The easy way is to just copy someone else's plan, make it easy. But in my opinion, that takes the spontaneity out of it, that takes the fun out of it, the discoverability out of it, and can also lead to you not enjoying your vacation because of these expectations that were had. And we could kind of call them unrealistic, because the things that content creators go through to create the content, you as a regular tourist who is going to enjoy a vacation, you're probably not going to go through the same things, so it may not be the same for you. So now, instead of, yes, you have to do your research, but instead of following what someone says, like you have to do this, you have to do that, I think that we should also do our own research, and not think that this is exactly how our vacation has to go, like this is exactly how it has to happen. I think that part of it of, well, being lazy, because, okay, let's just say. An example I have is here in Milan, there is a very popular sandwich shop called Antico Romantico. The sandwich does taste really good. Yes, I live in Milan, but I'm still not gonna wait an hour and a half for a sandwich. Like, do you know how much you can see or what you can do in that time versus waiting for a sandwich? And then maybe, let's just say the option you choose doesn't live up to your expectation. And then it's like, what the hell? So to me, I just giggle sometimes when I pass a line because one, the shop doesn't even have like in-store dining. So the particular location that people visit, there's no indoor seating. So you just buy a sandwich and then you end up sitting down on the side of the street because there's no like park or anything nearby. So you end up sitting on the side of the street, eating your sandwich that you just waited like an hour and a half in line for. Like, is it really worth it? Not really. To take an Instagram photo to say, hey, I had this sandwich. No. For me, I think part of travel is exploring. And sometimes when you just go off the beaten path, that's when you discover something. Like, you feel a lot more like, oh my gosh, like, let's just walk down the street. And then you walk down the street and then you see something amazing. And it's like, oh my gosh, wow, this is so nice. Like, of course, there are things like, okay, there are bucket list items that you may want to do, but don't feel like you have to do someone else's vacation, like tip for tip for tip. Like, do your own exploration, find out something. Maybe sometimes you'll be like, oh wow, you may see a post afterwards and you were like, I was there and I didn't even see that. Like, oh, I wish I could have seen that. Like, it happens, but I think you should explore on your own, do your own research, and go off the beaten path and not necessarily try to recreate someone else's picture. Like, give us some variety. Let's feel like, wow, I should discover my own something. Like, that should be what we aim to discover. Be like, yo, like, this is cool, but I found something else that could compete. So I think that is piece of like what we can do to try to combat it in a way, as well as, you know, find your own places that you want to visit. Of course, that makes sense for your wallet, for your budget, but that's just how I feel about it. Now, what is happening in Barcelona is ridiculous. And the unfortunate thing is the lack of respect for people. Like, I don't know. Everyone is different, but I still can't understand or comprehend like what has to be going through your mind to make you feel as though it's okay to invade someone else's personal space, to disrespect them, like by spraying them with water guns. Like, what? That's crazy, honestly. I've said a lot. Comment below. Tell me, what are your thoughts? Does this make you feel like traveling isn't worth it? Like, why am I going to a place to get people angry? But then again, looking at it on the receiving end, it's just as annoying because even when I'm on vacation, I'm looking like people going to work and it's like, bro, I'm just trying to live my life and y'all are just here in my way. Walking through Venice, like people trying to cross the street with the groceries, the delivery persons, because, well, there are a lot of stairs, bridges, and people there with the trolleys rolling up these stairs, just trying to make the deliveries, navigating through crowds. Like, I could see how it could be annoying. Also, the first time I visited Venice and I saw a Sephora, I saw a Pandora, like within the streets themselves. Like, it's cute, like they kept the antiqueness of the building, but it's like, bro, that's not what I came here for. And that's the next thing about making money. Like, people just want to make money, and then you see the locals saying that clearly they can't live there anymore. They're being, well, one, priced out, 2, it's becoming annoying. So then to make your quality of life better, it's just best you move out, because why stay here being like grumpy and grumbling every day when you can move out? So, and then that takes away from the authentic culture of the place. The people that may want to stay to keep the culture and authenticity alive, they still again get priced out. Like after a certain point, it stops making sense to them, because one, people are coming, they're not even buying anything. They're just walking in the store, looking, taking videos, taking pictures, like it's a lot. So myself, as someone who I am interested in traveling, I do want to experience other cultures. Like at the same time, I feel like I don't want to be in a store just taking footage of the art and stuff like that, especially if I'm not buying anything. So it's a weird in between that myself as a content creator I struggle with, because like, okay, something simple as the street performers, I don't take videos of the street performance unless I am going to give them, if I'm going to put money, because you are enjoying my performance, you're taking footage of my performance, but you're not like contributing. So unless I contribute or I plan to contribute, like they're really that good, I may take a little clip, but standing for a full minute, 2 minutes and taping someone and not contributing, I just find that's crazy. That's just my open thoughts about the issue. Comment below, tell me what you think about it. Again, what do you think about the landscape of over tourism? You have like Venice, Italy, Barcelona, Spain on your bucket list, and now you're like, or even France, and now you're like, not so much. So yeah, comment below, let's discuss, and thank you so much for watching. I do hope that we had a great like banter, conversation, discussion of the topic. Tell me how you think is a good way to combat it, not traveling, doing something else, like I don't know. But anyway, and I'll see you in the next one. So until next time, safe travels. Ciao.